mag-rejoice sa Panginoon. Hindi ba? Sarap po pong dumako sa ating presensya. Thank you, Sister Ochi. Andaban. Pwede yung palakpakan natin ang Panginoon sa buhay po ng ating po worship team. Ayan po. Kasama po ng multimedia si Brother Ardy. Okay po. So, ayan. Let's open our Bible po sa Genesis chapter 41 verses 37 to 49. Ayan. Andiyan po sa ating unang slide. Ayan po. So, let's together read. Naandyan po, baka kasi, ayan. Para sabay-sabay po tayo magbabasa. Sabay-sabay po tayo. 1, 2, 3, go. The plants seem good, pero to all fishes. Okay, 39. Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, and thus as you shall be in charge of the palace, and all my people are to submit. Only with respect and throne will be greater than me. So to Joseph, I hereby put you in charge of the whole land of Egypt. 42. When Pharaoh took his signet ring for his finger and put it on Joseph's finger, he dressed him in robes of fine linen and put a gold chain around his neck. 43. He had ride in a chariot as a second in command, and people shouted before him, "Make way!" Thus he put him in charge of the whole land. Okay, next po, thank you. Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, "I am Pharaoh, but without your word, no one will lift hand or foot in all Egypt." 45. Pharaoh gave Joseph the name Sabenat Paneah and gave him a Senate daughter of Potiphera, priest of On, to be his wife. And Joseph went throughout the land of Egypt. 46. Joseph was 30 years old when he entered the service of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from Pharaoh's presence and traveled throughout Egypt. During the 7 years of abundance, the land produced plentifully. 48. Joseph collected all the food produced in those 7 years of abundance in Egypt and stored it in the cities. In each city, he put the food grown in the fields surrounding it. 49. Joseph stored up huge quantities of grain like the sand of the sea. It was so much that he stopped keeping records because it was beyond measure. Po, tayo po ay manalangin. Panginoon, maraming salamat for this teaching, O God. So, very much, Lord, na ito may pagpapala sa bawat isa, Panginoon. Those words are treasures, O God, that is being given unto us, Lord, that's being brought unto us, O God. Maraming salamat dahil alam po namin, patuloy mo kaming ilalapit sa iyong salita para minsan pa, O Diyos, maranasan ka po namin, maranasan ang tunay na Diyos ng Biblia. O God, Lord, you're always the same yesterday and forever. Lord, maraming po salamat. May we capture your thoughts, your hearts, O God. And Father, ang panalangin namin, Lord God, may we put everything into obedience, O God. Lord, maraming salamat sa pangalan po ni Jesus. Amen. Amen. Yan po. Actually, ang ating pong main theme sa ating pong Mother Church po ay God's Divine Positioning. Pero ito po yung kasama po sa pag-position or sa paglalagay ng Panginoon sa atin is, sabi ko nga sa title na to, the God of Promises. So before we come or before we enter dun po sa position o sa gustong ilagay sa atin ng Panginoon, there are lots of promises na meron pong ibinibigay sa atin ng Panginoon. Do you believe that? So bago kayo ilagay ng Panginoon sa isang bagay na mahirap or madali or something simple, alam po natin na meron pa rin salita ang Panginoon na panghahawakan po natin. And ito nga po, praise the Lord. Before we discuss our text, let's study the background of Joseph before the promises of God was fulfilled in his life. Kung babasahin po natin si Genesis 37 verses 5 to 9, ayan, pwede mo bang, yan. It was at the age of 17 when Joseph had a dream that he would reign over his family. That was a time where God showed to him his future and promised that he will become a ruler at the age of a teenager. So, syempre, iba pa ang pananaw ng bata. Okay, iba pa ang kanyang pagkaka-interpret doon sa vision na yun. So, in the making, how many years? Sabi ko doon. Ang susunod po, okay, Genesis chapter 41, 41 verse 46. At the age of 30, God fulfilled His promises to him as the ruler or in charge of the entire Egypt. So, ang laki po na agwat, 13 years in the making. So, ibig sabihin, sabi ko nga kanina, unahan ko na po, ang tanong kasi, ano po yung nangyari within the 13 years sa buhay po ni Joseph? Before he was promoted, before he was positioned, within the 13 years, meron po siyang dinaanan. So, di po ganun ka-instant yung kanyang po kinaharap na promotion sa Panginoon. So, ngayon po, let's look now at our text po sa ating po sa Genesis. Based on the Bible reading, I would like to emphasize 5 points on the theme. When God remembers His promises. So may 5 pointers po akong na-squeeze dun po sa verses na yon from 37 to 49. Okay. We should keep in mind that there are few things that will happen when God remembers His promises. And number 1, He will give you progress. Ang progress po, hindi ko na po nilagay dyan, that meaning po nito ay wisdom. So, hindi po kaagad na mangingibago yung isip nyo kaagad. Ay, naku, ilalagay ako ito ng Lord. So, ito dapat kong gawin. Ito po dapat kong gawin. Meron ka na kaagad na plano sa isip mo. Pero, ang Lord po, He is willing to give you the wisdom. So, doon po sa verses na yon, 38 to 39, ayan po, actually, pag binalikan po natin, sige po, pwede pong pakibalikan yung slide sa una. More. Sabi doon sa 37 verses, okay, sorry. Okay, so siguro po, just jot it down, yung pong verses 5 to, yung 38, 38 to 39, sorry po. So, pero, ask them, can we find anyone like this man, one in whom is the Spirit of God? Yung prowess na sinasabi po natin, ano pong meaning ng prowess dyan? Okay, yung number 1 po ulit. Okay, prowess means skill or expertise in a particular activity or field. bravery in battle. Pero sabi ko nga, mamaya, unahan ko yung ano. Okay, ang tanong ko, anong klaseng education he underwent sa buhay niya within that 30 years? So mamaya po, balikan po natin. Pero yun nga po, sabihin, isipin po natin, saan po galing yung wisdom na Lord na kanya pong ginamit during that time. So saan po galing yun? Joseph's wisdom was incomparable, excellent, and had surpassed all kinds of wisdom in Egypt. Sabi ko kanina, when we studied, when you are educated in Egypt, number 1 po sa education ng Egypt. But, yun nga po, ang tanong ko, saan siya nag-aral during that time? Okay, he has the ability to interpret dreams, pero so that God was with Joseph through the wisdom that he has. Okay po. So, ayan po. So, ngayon po, let's see the effects of excellent wisdom. Ano po yung effect ng wisdom na meron po si Joseph? Number 1, wisdom or prowess attracts people to come closer to you. Although si Joseph po from the prison cell, actually kinuha ko siya to interpret the dreams of Pharaoh. Ngayon po, let's compare po natin yung buhay po ni Joseph. Sabi ito, sa 1 Kings chapter 10 verse 8, Queen Sheba visited Solomon. Bakit? When we speak of King Solomon, he is filled with full of wisdom. Alam niyo po, pagbabasahin niyo po yung verse na yon, I think it started on verse 5, nagtataka siya, anong meron ka? Bakit pinupuntahan ka ng tao? And, para po makita rin niya, pumunta ho siya. He visited King Solomon just to know kung totoo ba ang sinasabi ng tao. Tao na po ang nag-testify, doon niya po narinig na matalino po si King Solomon. Ibig sabihin, because of the wisdom that you have, you are attractive sa mga taong nangangailangan ng wisdom. Like Pharaoh, he's the highest in position during that Egypt time. Sabi nga sa inyo, ano ang pinag-aralan ni Joseph? Okay. Then number 2, it enables you to have a good judgment or opinion. Ayan pa. Yan. Wisdom enables you to have a good judgment or opinion. Sabi ko sa verse 37, the plans seem good to Pharaoh and to all his officials. So, ibig sabihin talagang grabe yung the way you counsel, the way you interpret the dreams. It enables you. You are able to interpret it. Hindi kayo nahuhula. Ganun yun, no? Hindi yung, ito ang tama. So, hindi eh. Because God remembers that promise in your life, He is able to give you that wisdom. It enables to attract people. Ano ba? It enables to, what? To have a good judgment. Number 3, it guards your heart. Hindi ka, sabihin mo, kasi matalino ako. Kaya, ayan, natuwa si Pharaoh. Hindi galing sa'yo. Yung wisdom ng Lord, doon ang galing kung bakit ka naging matalino. When God remembers the promises, yan po ang magmamanifest sa ating mga buhay. Okay. Sabi ito, when God remembers His promises to us, He will provide wisdom to instruct people, to the man of wisdom and the author of wisdom Himself. Actually, yun nga po kapag po naalala ng Diyos ang pangako niya sa iyo. Sabi ko nun, He will provide wisdom to instruct you. Sabi ko, and He will also attract people to the men full of wisdom. Ilalapit at ilalapit ng Diyos ang tao na nangangailangan ng instructions sa buhay mo. And, sabi ko nun, dahil saan ba galing yung wisdom? Because He is the author. Jesus, the Holy Spirit is the author. Kung ano po yung naisip natin. Never think, okay, sometimes you are skillful, you are talented, pero po, sabi nga nun kay Joseph, di ba? Incomparable. Maaring meron kang, kumbaga, na-inherit. Ganun eh. Na-inherit ba yun? Yung katalinuhan niya, na-inherit yun. Pero, wala pong pwedeng hindi makapantay dun po sa wisdom. Who is the author na ating pong pinag-aaralan ngayon ay ating Panginoon Jesus. And now, number 2, P. After yung unang P kanina, He will give you prowess or wisdom. Number 2, He will give you promotion. Ayan, 40 verses number, okay. So, yes, yan. Kasi, more? Okay. Yan, number 2, He will give you promotion. So, He became the prime minister or second in command to Pharaoh. Okay, basahin po natin, you shall be in charge of my palace and all my people are to submit to your orders. Only with respect to the throne will I be greater than you. So Pharaoh said to Joseph, I hereby put you in charge of the whole Egypt, land of Egypt. So sa Psalm 75, promotion does not come from the east nor from the west, but it comes from God. So, sabi ko sa inyo, ano ang background ni Joseph? Within that 13 years in the making, before he promoted by God. Actually, ano pong nangyari sa kanya? He was being sold by his brothers. Actually, tinapon niya po muna siya. Di ba? Alam niyo yun? Tinapon siya. Ang tawag sa ganun? Balon. Tapos, instead na mamatay siya, o patayin ng, talagang, yon, mawala ng buhay, siya po ay binenta ng mga kapatid. After that, saan siya napunta? Kaya sabi ko sa inyo, what kind of education ang kanya kong na-encounter? He was sold to become a slave. Nag-aral po ba siya during that time? What kind of wisdom, what kind of promotion? Kasi pag nagpo-promote ka ng tao, titignan mo yung qualification. That's how we base. That's how we look sa isang tao. Amen? That's how God is amazing. When God remembers His promises, binyan ito po sa ating comprehension. So yun po. So, sige po. Pag Prime Minister, kayo po ay President ng isang state. You are second to the highest position. Sabi ko, ano yung ginampasan niya ng mga posisyon na? Di ba? Yung iba talagang, iboto mo ako para lang makapunta. Pero siya, he was appointed directly by the Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. Sino ba siya? Okay, mababasa po natin dyan. Sige po. Okay, he will give, okay. Balik po tayo sa power. Number 2? Okay. Yan, okay. Sige po, next slide. Okay. Okay, babasahin ko lang po muna. Before he became on that position, he first experienced to be in the prison house. Ngayon, iniisip nyo, narito ako sa kalagayan na to. Of course, iba-iba tayo ng kalagayan sa buhay, iba-iba tayo ng trabaho. Pero alam niyo ba kung anong ginawa niya? Medyo i-relate natin yung ating mga buhay sa kasamahan po natin dito. Yung term na katiwala. Pero siya po ay pinili ni Pharaoh. Diba? Nakakatuwa ko. For that is the way of God for a greater promotion. There are moments hindi mo alam. Hindi nga mo niya, siguro meron siyang idea dahil napag-inipan niya. Pero kapag ikaw ay nasa kulungan, may isip mo ba na mapupromote ka? Diba? Kapag nasa kulungan ka, sorry for the, talagang it's so hard to believe that God will going to promote you. Amen. Amen. Ayan, sabi ko, God arranged for Joseph to be the prime minister in Egypt. Inarrange na po ng Panginoon yun. Kinausap niya si Pharaoh. Okay, ilagay mo yan. Ganun, no? So, pwede yung mga ating amo, yung ating mga bossing, ilagay mo itong yun, ano bang term sa atin, sa bawat isa, na nagtatrabaho. Put that person into this position. Pwede mo mangyari yun? When God remembers that promises, kung may promise po ang Panginoon sa bawat isa, it will come to pass. Amen.
So sabi ko, the likelihood of a Hebrew raising to any position is very impossible. Hebrew po, Hudyo po si Joseph. And sa Egypt po, ang mga tao po doon ay mga, ano po sabi ko noon? They are Gentiles. Arab people. Diba, sa iba pong lugar po kasi, ayoko po mag-mention kasi baka ano, hindi po na pinuposisyon ang against sila doon sa bansa. Halimbawa, sa Pilipinas, merong taga-ibang bansa. Against sila doon sa taga-ibang bansa yun, nasa Pilipinas, nagtatrabaho, hindi nila ipoposisyon yun dahil they are against. Pero ito, si Pero, against po sila sa Hebrew people sa mga Hudyo. Pero bakit siya po ang second in command ang nilagay ng Panginoon? Si Pero. So, sabihin natin, it's impossible po. Amen po? When God remembers the promises in your life, nothing is impossible. So, ayan. Number 3. Okay, kanina, He will give you prowess. He will promote you. Now, He will give you power. Ayan. Then Pharaoh took his signet ring from his finger and put it on Joseph's finger. He dressed him in a robe of fine linen and put a gold chain around his neck. He had him ride in chariots, his second in command. And people shouted before him, "Make way." Then he put him in charge of the whole land of Egypt. It's the same privileges po nung parable of the prodigal son. Kahit hindi po siya tanggap-tanggap, okay. I don't know kung nangyari kay Joseph within that 13 years na siya po bago ma-promote. Pero ito po, kitang-kita ko nung ginawa ng prodigal son. Pero ano po ang i-restore sa kanya? What kind of power has been restored back to that prodigal son? Ganyan po, when God remembers His promises, there are powers that He will endow upon us, just like Joseph. Let's take a closer look at some objects or symbolizes meanings, okay, of this kind of power. Mga binigay po sa kanya. Number 1, yung signet ring. Okay po. It signifies authority. May authority ka. Hindi ka nga dumaan doon sa protocol nila. I don't know kung alam niyo yung protocol. Kasi nasa bilangguan ka, paano matututunan yung protocol, yung rules, yung policy ng bansang Egypto. Pero po yun, the Pharaoh gave that signet ring to. Kasi pag kayo po yung merong ring, okay, yun nga po, it signifies authority. Lahat po ng rules, lahat ng laws, ibigay sa kanya, tatakan po niya yun. Ibig sabihin, ito yung masusunod, no one can break it. Once meron pong sign, meron pong tatak ng kanyang sing-sing. Okay. Yan, God gave men dominion. Yan po yung authority. Kung paano po ni-receive ni Joseph, the same thing po nung kay Adam. Authority to name all the God's creation. Yung birds, ganun po, yung mga animals, siya po ang nag-name ng pangalan. Ayan po. Sige po. Number 2, robe of fine linen and gold chain around his neck. Ibig sabihin po, royalty, dignified, majestic, supreme. He put fine clothes upon him instead of his prison garments. Tingnan niyo. Okay, na-compare ko po kayo kay Mordecai. Yung po, pamangkin niya po si Esther. Naalala niyo po yun? Instead na siya po ay maparusahan, na pinipare po ni Haman. Diba? Naalala niyo yun? Ano nangyari kay Mordecai? Yung pong sinadjust ni Haman na dapat gagawin sa kanya, napunta po kay Mordecai. Unexpected po yun. Okay, sinuotan siya ng royal robe, pinasakay siya sa kabayo. But siguro first class na kabayo, syempre of course. Calling suggestion ni Haman, nangyari po kay Mordecai. Si Mordecai po ay mayroong, ang tawag doon, ano ba tawag sa ganun? Hindi mo palado. Tawag sa ganun. Yung polio. Yun na yun. Pero yun po, pinili siya ng Diyos para po magkaroon ng freedom from slavery. Actually, papatayin po annihilation of all the Jews because of what Haman is planning for all the Jews. Yun po. Pero po, katulad nga po ni Haman, yun po nangyari kay Joseph. Instead of his prison garments, pinalitan po ng nakakatawa, ano? Siguro yung damit mo, ilang araw na, yung damit mo pa, degrading. Kasi, sorry po, siyempre of course, kapag inang suot mo, iba ang pakiramdam mo. Pero, pinalitan po ng Panginoon. Yan, into fine clothes. For those that are in king's palaces must wear of soft clothing. He that in the morning was dragging his fetters of iron before night, yun po ang nangyari sa kanya. Dati po, nakasuot siya ng, ang suot po niya ay, yun po, as a prisoner. Tapos napagtan ng, magandang garments. Tapos po, meron po siyang yung bakal sa paa, as a prisoner. Pero ngayon po, he's adorned with chain of gold. When God remembers the promises, maaaring nakalimutan mo yun, pero ang Diyos hindi po niya nakakalimutan yun. Amen po ba? Pwede mo palakpakan natin ang Panginoon. Hallelujah! Ito po number 3. Okay, yung mga symbolism po na ibinigay sa kanya. Chariot, respect or reverence. He made him ride in the second chariot to his own and ordered all to do respect to him. Bow the knee as the Pharaoh himself. Grabe, no? Actually, he was forgotten na eh. Kasi meron po siya ininterpretan, isang baker, alam mo ito kayo isa, dalawa yung kanyang nagpa-interpret sa kanya. Yung the cupbearer, nakalimutan na siya ng isa. Actually, kasi namatay na siya. Kaya nakalimutan na. Yung isa po nakaalala kasi nangyari po sa kanya, he was really promoted. Yun po ang interpretation niya sa dream nung nagpa-interpret sa kanya. Pero nga po, still, grabe no, unexpected. Ito po yung power na ipinagkatiwala ng pero sa kanya. Ikaw kaya di mo kilala, galing sa prison house yan, bigla mo ipopromote. Hindi mo kilala. Pero ang nakita po niya ay ang Diyos sa buhay niya. So, ibig sabihin, kayo po yung na-promote, saan man yan, ministry, sa company, hindi po nakita yung skill mo. Nakita po ang Diyos sa buhay mo. Amen? Amen? God is good? Amen po. Hallelujah. All the time. Amen. Okay, number 4. He will give you preference. Ibig sabihin ng preference, okay, favor. Okay, blessing. So, ayan. Letter A, God will favor you the ability to reveal secrets. Grabe yan, no? Kaya mo mag-expose ng Panginoon. There are times, siguro po, may moment po talaga na naranasan ko po yun. Habang napipray po kami, siguro mga 5 lang kami, gano'n. Tapos sabi ng Lord sa akin, just tell in prayer. Talagang medyo malakas ng konti. Meron ka lang i-reveal or i-confess na kasalanan. And you will be released. Alam niyo talagang dying na po yung kasama namin. Kasi